Hello beautiful friends, it's Happy Rani with 30-day Craving Western Adventure. It's the day 20th of our adventure. I had a big break in between, but now I continue. I am usually eating a lot of raw food in the summer, and then in the colder time you find it harder to eat raw and you're starting to eat more cooked food. I think it's totally fine to eat cooked food. There are a lot of people who are very healthy eating plant-based cooked food, as long as they're also eating plenty of fresh produce. And at the same time, if you fell in love with this high vibration of raw foods, the way you feel so light, so vibrant, so full of energy, and you feel a little sad that you can't eat as much raw food during the winter, because maybe you're feeling cold. If that's you, I would love to share my experience with you and tips that I gathered on my 17-year raw vegan experience. During the first 3 years of me going raw vegan, I lived in Estonia. It's pretty cold in the winter time. And somehow it just didn't occur to me that cooked food would keep me warm. I didn't think this way. For some reason, and that's why I started looking for ways to warm myself up in different ways. And I perfected this method over the years of my own experience and working with others in my raw vegan groups. The first thing is make sure that you fuel up on healthy carbohydrates. If you are concerned about gaining weight or not losing weight while eating carbohydrates, then I would warmly recommend to reduce fat intake instead, because fat is not really warming us up. It might give you illusion because it has more calories. Carbohydrates actually are much better at warming your body up. It's natural fuel for our body. Fat is a building block for the body, and it can be used as a backup fuel in a case of emergency. And when you're eating enough carbohydrate, it will give you energy to exercise, which is the next tip to warm up, to move your body throughout the day. If you just do intense exercise in the morning or in the evening and then the whole day you're sitting around, that's not gonna really work. Although if you are doing heavy lifting or some intense exercise, heat exercise, it will increase your overall body temperature for the whole day. And at the same time, it's even better when you can also move your body throughout the day and warm it up, increase your blood flow, your lymph flow throughout the day. And it can be just some enjoyable movement or maybe cleaning up around the house, especially for those of us with sedentary type of work. The next pretty obvious tip is to warm yourself up with extra clothes and extra blankets. When I started on a raw vegan path, I didn't really know what I'm doing, so I made some mistakes, and I was extra cold, more colder than I was before going raw. All I did is just put on extra layers of clothes. It is cold in the winter time in Estonia, and sometimes the heating is not really enough. But the biggest reason I was too cold is I was under eating on carbs. So number one, eat enough carbs. Number two, move your body. And then if you're still cold, just put on extra layer of clothes. And the next tip is just turn up the heat. If you don't want to wear all these bulky clothes, then turn up the heat in your house, or if it's possible in your office, you can also have a separate heater if the rest of the people in the office don't like it to be too warm. They're already too warm from all the coffee they're drinking and other things they're eating. Then you can have a personal little heater on your desk or under your desk, and that will keep you warm. Another hugely important tip is to keep your food warm. So many people will put their fruit in a fridge, and it's understandable, you don't want it to go bad. And if you have to put your fruit in the fridge, take it out in advance, several hours in advance, so it warms up in a room temperature. Or if you're in a rush, you can put it in dehydrator. If you don't have dehydrator, you can put your oven on the lowest setting and open the door of the oven. Leave your fruit there for a little while. You don't want to cook it, of course, but it will just warm it up enough, especially if you have the ventilator in the back. Another alternative is to just put it under running warm water. It can be pretty hot actually, but as long as it doesn't burn your hand, it shouldn't burn your food. So just warm it up, and then you will feel so much warmer eating this warm fruit. And if you're making a salad or like a raw soup, you can warm it up in dehydrator or blend it a little bit longer in a blender, especially if you have a vacuum blender that will not make it too oxidized. Or you can add a little bit of warm water in there to warm it up. You can also put your bowl in another bigger bowl with warm water and mix it to warm it up. And yeah, even in the oven. With oven, it would be good to use a thermometer. Put thermometer in there and see that it doesn't go above 105 Fahrenheit, 41, 42 degrees Celsius. Also, you can easily have a big cup of warm herbal tea before your meal, or even sip the tea during the meal. I know some people say that you dilute your digestive juices, but it's not really based on science. Our body is perfectly capable of producing just enough juices, no matter what's the composition of your food. Because some raw food is more juicier than other food, and when you just sip on the tea, like herbal tea, and especially it can be a spicy tea that will help you also to warm up, and actually can help digestion. If the food is a little bit on the drier side, then this warm tea will just give your body more hydration, and this hydration will actually help you to digest your food. And another easy and delicious tip is to spice up your food with hot spices, with something sweet. You can add things like cardamom and cinnamon and ginger. And ginger is also great in savory foods, as well as garlic and onion and hot pepper and all these spicy deliciousness that will warm you up and keep you nice and toasty. And the last tip is to slow down when you encounter some challenges, when you still feel like it's too hard to be raw during the winter, or maybe you don't have enough ripe fruit or this or that. It's super helpful to calm your mind down and slow down your thoughts before you look for a solution, because we can't solve the problem on the same level of consciousness that it was created on. So we need to raise our consciousness from this fight or flight mode and complaining and being upset about things. We need to raise up above it, and then from up above we will see the solution to this situation. Or you can reach out to those who are more experienced on the raw vegan lifestyle. There is a big community, and you can reach out to me, you can write me a message, you can even ask me your questions in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. And the way you slow down your thoughts is by putting your attention on things like breathing, on your body, the sensation of you standing or sitting on the surface. You can put your attention on what you see around you. Maybe look at a beautiful flower or whatever is the most prettiest object in your surroundings. You can notice the smells. Maybe you can smell an essential oil. You can have a little bottle of essential oil with you, your favorite one, and smell it. That will flood your senses with all these beautiful sensations of vision and smell and touch and sounds. You can listen to your favorite music for a little while. And this will help you to slow down your thoughts. You can also imagine that you're breathing into a balloon that is in between your thoughts. So one thought or one word even in a thought, and then you blow a balloon that creates space between the words or the thoughts in your head. This is a really funny idea that one time came to my mind, and it really helped a lot. And the bonus tip is to take a mini vacation, even just for 1 week, to go somewhere warm, and it will really warm up your heart and boost your motivation to be raw. Especially when you go to a raw vegan retreat. There are several raw vegan retreats going on this winter, and one of them is our retreat. We're inviting you to the beautiful Canary Islands. We have retreat in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. It's a city, so it's an urban retreat, and we will be going to national parks. So we will be spending a lot of time in nature, and at the same time we will be based in the city, which is actually very beneficial for you if you're trying to break free from this cooked food addiction. When you're going around the city and you see all these cafes and restaurants that are everywhere here, and you smell this cooked food smells, it's a perfect time to be with us and do the mind-shifting techniques that will break you free from this addiction to these foods, because we are completely free. We absolutely have no desire to eat any of these foods, and we're going past them every day, all the time, and we're just looking forward for our beautiful raw fresh fruits and veggies. And if you want to be like that, this is a retreat for you. Or if you just want to relax in a warm subtropical sun and swim in a beautiful turquoise sea, enjoying nature and enjoying the company of like-minded people, we warmly invite you to our raw vegan retreat. The spots are booking very fast. I recommend that you go and check the availability and book your spot as soon as you can. And if you want to watch the rest of the Craving Busting series, I'll put the link to the whole list in the description below. And I'm excited to see you again in the next video. Bye!